Welcome back, everyone. It's here. And today I've got some r/BestOf for you all. As per usual, I'll be reading you the posts, giving you my opinions, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. This post was collected by Direct Caterpillar 77, and their tagline is, "Satan is not a pogo stick." Originally posted to r/StarCitizen, r/Am I the Asshole, and r/Relationship Advice by user PMMeGoodDD. The general title for this one has been decided to be OP's gaming addiction cost him everything. Editor's Note 1. Those not familiar with the game itself, here's a too long didn't read. Star Citizen, an MMO, is an in-development multiplayer space trading and combat simulation game. It's been in development since 2012. It uses almost entirely crowdfunding for its cost, and as such, has players buy in-game spaceships for real money, with the cheapest being $45, and some ship packages have a price of up to $48,000, according to one article I saw. Some of these ships aren't even in-game yet, and are considered concept ships, essentially pre-ordering in-game items. Many people consider this game to be a scam based on the amount of time it's been in development, missed development milestones, delays, and the exorbitant prices of some of its content. Editor's Note 2. Prior to these posts, OP made 2 posts where he says he spent nearly $5,000 on the game. The first post found was titled Credit Advice to r/StarCitizen November 26, 2023. The post was removed and is unrecoverable. From what can be surmised from the comments, OP has spent so much in Star Citizen that he is in massive debt. Relevant comments. The Fallen one. Pay back what you owe immediately and don't rack up debt? OP responds. But I need the new ships, frowny face. No play 1210. So your girlfriend literally left you because you bought so many ships to the point she had enough of it and dumped you. Honestly, bud, I'd do the same if I was in her shoes. User Doubt Tom comments, if trolling, good job. If serious, stop. These things aren't real and some folks have more money than they need so they can buy things like Jpegs. All you need is a starter. Play the game and earn them in-game. IAE, which seems to be the form of in-game shop, fear of missing out hits hard by design, but these ships will still be there and still be earnable in-game. OP responds, I'm Wing Commander now, I don't know how I got here. I can't pay my rent this month. Muek and Schwarm comments, from every comment you made, this one is the most disturbing. All of us commenters don't know you. We don't know your relationship or family background. It's hard for us to judge your situation. But you spending money you do not have is a very serious sign. This, more than anything else, is a sign of addiction that even a stranger on the internet can spot. I see many people have suggested therapy, but I know that this is a huge step for an addict. I would suggest that you, at the very least, find people to talk to that can understand your urges. There are many good self-help group projects around addiction in general. Start by going to a group and just listening and maybe telling your story. Even if you don't believe any of us that you have a problem, take the fact that you don't have any money for rent as a sign to take the off-ramp before not only your relationship unravels. It can't hurt to go talk to someone who understands. Take care, OP, and know that you can beat this. OP posts, update on my situation, November 26, 2023. Follow up to my previous post because maybe you don't believe me. My girlfriend is pissed about how much I spent on ships last week. She said she may actually leave and went back to her parents. I had to tell her I ruined my credit and we can't get a new apartment this year till I fix it. Credit is too bad to rent in New York City at our salary. I kinda wish this was a joke, but I have a genuine addiction. This week I've accumulated over $5,000 in pledges. I have no idea what I'm doing. Please help. Relevant comments. Be me, Mike. Request refunds from Steam support and seek some professional help with your impulse control. There's nothing that anyone here will be able to help you with directly. User Mindshard responds, CIG can't help either. It was all gray market purchases. OP responds, what's the point? She's walking out. MarleyCat118 comments, the point is, you have a fucking problem that is literally overtaking your real life. Get fucking help. Holy fuck. You posted in other subreddits about how she is actually leaving you, but not before you update your Star Citizen status. You are never going to get above this unless you get help. Delete your account and then take things fucking seriously. Your wake-up call was the first incident of spending your money on this game. I would call it mental health problems, but you stay down, fix the issue a bit, then did it again, and now, single as fuck, you still haven't stopped or gotten help. User bartendr2, 1. Ask for a refund. 2. Go get professional help. If you suffer from addiction, it's not only going to be Star Citizen. Get help now so you can learn to manage it. 3. Inform your girlfriend of the steps you have taken, and tell her that she means more to you than a game. That is insanity. Do the same thing and expect a different outcome. User Mindshard responds, look at his post history. They were all gray market purchases. Dude is beyond fucked. Update. This is the fleet that cost me my girlfriend. November 26th, 2023. Picture of OP's fleet. Wait, they're actually just fucking Jpegs? What? She's nowhere near as excited as I am about the Astera. Am I the asshole for breaking a needless promise after fixing a situation? Posted January 3rd, 2024. No, dude, don't. No. A while back, my significant other and I hit a rough patch. I'm an avid player of Star Citizen, and admittedly, I tend to go overboard with it. A few months ago, during a sale, I impulsively spent our saved down payment for a house on virtual spaceships. Understandably, she was furious and temporarily left. I realized my mistake, apologized, and took on an extra job to replenish our savings. I'm close to restoring our financial status to its original state, though it will take another 6 months to fully recover, not accounting for my personal debt. As part of reconciling, she asked me not to purchase any more spaceships for 6 months. Initially, this seemed reasonable, but over time I have come to view it as somewhat excessive. Despite this, I recently bought a few more spaceships, and she discovered it, now considering leaving me for good. I thought that by nearly restoring the savings I had spent, I had made amends for my actions. I genuinely enjoy collecting spaceships in the game. She's also concerned about my credit score and other financial issues, but I'm confident I can rectify those in the coming years, given that I've already managed to recover most of our savings through extra work. I'm struggling to understand if I'm in the wrong for breaking what now seems like an arbitrary promise, or if her reaction to leave over what I consider my primary hobby is unjustified. Verdict. Removed before verdict rendered. Top comments. Every Caterpillar 94.5. It's Direct Caterpillar's evil cousin. You're the asshole. Here, I fixed it for you. I'm a passionate gambler. One night, I gambled all our mutual savings for a down payment away. She was pissed, and we agreed on me working extra shifts to pay back the savings and not to gamble for at least 6 months. I paid back the savings, and are now gambling again like nothing happened, and I didn't betray her trust by gambling our savings away in the first place. Now she doesn't trust me anymore and wants to leave me, and I have no idea why. Also, my credit sucks now, and I still have personal debts, while spending money on gambling again. Why doesn't she want a future with me anymore? What else can she want than a dude with debt, bad credit, and a gambling addiction who already gambled away your mutual savings once? I'm a catch, but somehow she doesn't see it this way. Why? OP responds, it is not gambling because I own the ships. User Hot Beef Hop comments, you are gambling on their resale value. Unless you have no intention of selling at all, in which case they aren't an investment in any helpful way, you've mentioned in another response that you see them as an investment, and they contribute nothing to your practical life. The very best you can hope for is a moral boost for the time spent on your hobbies, and while it's nice to have that, you've gone so far over the line that you've risked, and probably lost, your relationship. You know full well you're the asshole. You must do. Nobody can be this deluded. CyberPudel comments, wait, you spent $15K on digital spaceships in a game alpha that were to be used for a house down payment behind the back of your spouse. After she discovered it, you told her that you would replenish the money and stop buying ships for 6 months. You did get a job, and before both conditions were met, you already bought another goddamn spaceship? And you have the audacity to pretend they are investments in one comet and then say you would never sell them in another? Which is it, dipshit? Let me tell ya, it's going to be a divorce. Please never reproduce and get your addiction under control before ever getting another girlfriend. Forgot the judgment, you're the asshole, in case it wasn't clear enough. Eviline19 comments, $15,000 on a video game? He's lucky she didn't stab him. User Do These Hide My Thunder comments, he buried the ledge too. If you read his other posts, he dropped another $5K on virtual shit. OP then posts to r/relationships. 31 male. Can I rebuild trust with girlfriend 35 female after gaming addiction ruined our apartment plans? January 11th, 2024. 31 male. Facing a crisis I never expected. My girlfriend and I had plans to move to a better apartment, but I jeopardized our dream by spending our savings on Star Citizen, a video game. This incident has made me realize that I might be battling a gaming addiction and impulsive spending. Despite her initial forgiveness and a clear agreement to not buy more in-game items for 6 months while replenishing our savings, I failed to stick to our plan. This breach of trust led to a major argument, especially after I refused her suggestion to sell my gaming account. Consequently, she's left, and we haven't spoken since. This situation has hit me hard, making me see how my gaming habit has turned from a hobby into a destructive force in my life. I'm struggling with the realization that my actions have not only damaged my relationship, but are also affecting my financial stability, as my credit score is now in jeopardy. The most painful part is recognizing how much I love her and the extent of the turmoil I'm in. I'm earnestly seeking advice on how to address my addiction and possibly salvage my relationship. Relevant comments. Genduke. So, let me get this straight. 1. You stole her money to buy pixel spaceships. 2. She forgave you as long as you stopped buying pixel spaceships. 3. You kept buying pixel spaceships. 4. You refused to fix the problem by selling off your pixel spaceships. 5. You realize you love pixel spaceships more than her and left for good. I mean, dude, I'm sorry, but she's well shut of you. She's never coming back, and if she did, she'd still resent you. The childish response would be to keep sinking money you don't have into Star Citizen. The moral response would be to sell your account and send her the amount that you owe her after you stole her savings. User, whoop, throwaway time, comments. Dude, I'm looking at your post history. You're in full-on denial about your spending/gaming addiction. You 1000% have an issue after you spent $15,000 in 6 months on optional purchases for a mobile game. There's no way you can salvage the relationship without first addressing this issue. And even then, the chances are low that she'll take you back. If anything, you need to do this for yourself and your future. Do you want to have bad credit/be alone/be in debt to a game 10 years from now? You need to go cold turkey with this game. Sell your account/ships, lock yourself out of your account, and go to therapy. New post, resisting the urge to buy more ships. January 18th, 2024. These repeat sales are making it quite difficult to leave the old credit card holstered. I can't be the only one here. I do like that we each get a second chance though. Relevant comments. I misspelled turtle. Don't buy more ships, dude! OP. I didn't. User alone in orbit comments. This profile has to be a troll at this point. If not, holy fuck, get actual help. Like a therapist or a psych. Toasty McSags responds, I think so. Looking back, his my fleet pick from 2 weeks ago, surely he's not missing any ship either flight ready or concept. OP responds, missing a cutter. New update. Hey, I ruined my life over a video game. February 18th, 2024. It's all starting to come together for me. I essentially ruined my life for a video game. I'm in massive, unrecoverable debt. My girlfriend left me, my parents are refusing to speak to me, I have constant anxiety, my life is falling apart. I'm going to lose my job, I might lose my apartment. I haven't spent any money on games in a bit, I don't know, sorry, this is so disorganized, I just need to vent. Final post, which was deleted before anyone could get some kind of capture of it. 61K in credit card debt with no end in sight. March 26th, 2024. And that's it. All we have is the title to go by. And I am horrified to even think about what the implications of that are. In the end, this is just heartbreaking. This is very obviously someone who just struggles with some sort of gaming or gambling addiction and doesn't know how to control their impulsive spending. This goes far beyond spending $183 on a paracord knife skin in CSGO. This is financially troubling and just horrific. I mean, what happens when he loses his apartment and he can't even afford to even go on his computer to check his Star Citizen account? What happens at that point? Like, congrats, dude, you're in so much goddamn debt and you've got nothing to show for it. Apparently, it is possible for him to sell his account, but I almost wonder if the sunk cost fallacy just has him by the throat, and he sees it as, well, if I sell my account, I'll have less money than what I started with. So, may as well just keep it until I can get more money than I started with. So he's refusing to sell for that logic. But truth being, he does at least have a way out. He has a way that he can get out of this situation and at least be only a little bit in debt potentially. But he doesn't take it. He got himself out of the pit, then let himself sink right back in, and it's going to cost him everything. And this is just depressing, because this entirely falls on his lack of impulse control and his inability to admit that he definitely has a problem. I mean, he'll publicly admit it, but he won't do anything to fix it. He won't do anything to get help for it. I don't even know if this is someone you can realistically help at this point in time, because he's very clearly shown that he's unwilling to sell his Star Citizen account to even try to get himself out of debt. So, at this point in time, he's kind of just on his own. His ship started sinking and he sold his lifeboat for more Jpegs of spaceships. This post was collected to BestOf sister subreddit, BORU, by Similar Shame 7517. The original OP has been deleted, but there's a secondary OP named Mysterious Cow 3423. The two OPs are different people. The saga begins April 30th, 2025, posted to r/amItheasshole. The original post by the deleted user. Am I the asshole for demanding to check my brother's girlfriend's bags before they leave my house? A little bit of background here. I, 39 female, have a brother, 32 male, who I'll call Chase. Chase has been with this girl, 35 female, that I'll call Vivian for almost 2 years now. About a month into their relationship, Vivian got pregnant with my nephew, who is now almost a year old. Vivian also has 2 daughters, 5 female and 8 female, from a previous relationship. Her daughters are very close in age to my daughter, 7 female, and up until last weekend, everyone got along fine. They live in a different state than us, but come to visit fairly often and stay with us because we have the extra room. Last weekend, they came to stay again, but about an hour before they left, my daughter noticed that a few of her favorite toys were missing. The girls were playing all weekend, so I didn't think much of it and offered to help her look for them. After about 20 minutes of searching, we could not find the toys anywhere. So I asked Vivian's girls if they remembered where they were playing with them last. The girls said no, but acted a little guilty about it. I asked Chase and Vivian about it, and Chase said he saw the exact toys in the room that Vivian's girls were sleeping in. We went to check, and they were not there. He asked Vivian if she had moved them when she packed the girls' things that morning, and she said they were not there. We went back into the living room, and I saw Vivian's girls huddled close together over a backpack and quickly closed it when they saw we were there. Chase asked the girls again if they knew where the toys were, and this time they didn't say anything, and just looked at their mom. Chase reached for the bag, and Vivian lost it. She started yelling at me, "How dare I accuse her daughters of stealing?" And she tried to snatch the bag away. Chase opened it, and there were the missing toys, plus a few more. I was absolutely furious. I told her I wanted to see what else she had and demanded she open the 2 suitcases. She said that was an invasion of her privacy and tried to take them and leave. Chase stopped her and made her open them. She had taken several toys, a few skirts and dresses, and a brand new pair of Nikes that belonged to my daughter. I took everything back and told her she and her girls were not allowed back into my home. I have since received several texts from her and a few unknown numbers telling me I embarrassed her and upset her girls because they were promised the items. Chase is upset with her, but said I was too mean to her in front of everyone and that I could have handled the situation more privately. I do feel awful that her girls left crying, but am I the asshole for how I handled the situation? Edit to add. Answers to a few questions I keep getting. I'm not sure who promised the girls the items. She would not elaborate, but I'm assuming it was her. She wanted me to pull her aside into a different room away from Chase and the kids to talk the situation out. Also, yes, I'm 99% sure the baby is his. He is almost a carbon copy of my brother when he was a baby. I do not believe the girls knew they were stealing the things. I really believe that their mom told them I said it was okay. We have never had problems with the girls before. They really seem to be good kids. Also, I'll be talking with my brother tonight or tomorrow to discuss things further. Edit 2. I will be speaking with my brother in about an hour. I have been in contact with someone that knows her, and a lot of things have come to light. I will update again if my brother says I can, as it's his life and not mine. Vivian is not at all who she claims to be. Update, May 1st. Thank you all so much for the responses. I'm sorry I haven't been able to get to everyone's comments, as I really didn't think this would take off. I talked with my brother last night and showed him a lot of your comments and suggestions, and thanks to someone in the comments, we now know a lot more about Vivian and the kind of person she really is. I will not be able to tell you all everything, but I can tell you that my brother and nephew are now staying with us while he gets a DNA test and proceeds to cut ties with her. I may have more to give you all in the coming days or weeks depending on what the paternity test says. Again, thank you all so much. Am I the asshole has no consensus, but the top comments all voted OP is not the asshole. However, one Redditor left this reply. U/MysteriousCow3423. The story sounds very familiar, but not for the reasons others are saying. Do the initials KAS apply to this post at all? OP replied with, please message me. Another Redditor replied to this with, look, I don't know if KAS and OP know each other, but damn, I do want to know. But if not, I think we need the story of KAS anyway. Mysterious Cow replied to this Redditor with, it's unfortunately her. First, OP replied to other comments, but then deleted their account after the exchange above and the edit/updates in their first post. Update by U/MysteriousCow3423. The Legend of KAS. One day later. Well, this is certainly blown up, but who am I to deny the people of what they want? KAS lore. KAS from here on out. For obvious reasons, I'm going to be a little vague with certain details for privacy reasons. Mainly, I don't want this crazy train coming back into my life, and hopefully you'll understand by the end. So buckle up, bitches! This one is long and wild. And please, don't judge me. We don't associate with any of these people anymore, and haven't for over a decade. Also, I will say that she is a very pretty girl, and has usually gotten whatever she wants from men, so she's not used to hearing no. 2005. When I was 18, my then boyfriend, now husband, and I were invited to a house party hosted by a friend of a friend to celebrate graduation. We knew about half the people there, and had been to the house a handful of times before. We were all hanging out in the basement, and after a few drinks, I went upstairs to use the bathroom, and that's where I met KAS, who was 14 at the time. The bathroom door was open, so I walked in and turned on the light, but to my surprise, there she was, with some guy, in the bathtub, doing things you typically wouldn't do in an unlocked room. I apologized and found a different bathroom. About an hour later, she came downstairs where the rest of us were and locked in on my boyfriend and made a beeline for him. Keep in mind, I'm right next to him. She tries to sit on his lap, and when he pushes her off of him, she pops back up like a demented jack-in-the-box and immediately starts screeching about how she was just playing, you aren't even hot, and you could do so much better than her, to him. We stayed another hour or so and left. A week later, she was blowing up the guy's phone that she hooked up with, telling him she was pregnant. When he didn't believe her, because honestly, who would after just a week, she tried to press charges for. I do know my boyfriend and I both had to talk to a police officer because we were both there, and I was the one that walked in on them. I don't know what happened after that, but the charges were eventually dropped. 2009. My husband and I are 22, and she's 18. We're now married and living on the East Coast because he's in the military. We come home for his parents' 4th of July party and get tasked with going to get more ice. He runs into pay, and I'm standing by the ice chest outside waiting for him, and guess who shows up? She walks straight up to me and says something along the lines of, she's glad I finally learned my place and that her and my husband have been so happy together for the last year. She also made some very vulgar comments about their sex life. I don't even have time to react to her when he comes back outside and she just goes pale and bright red. This crazy bitch then has the audacity to look at my husband and ask him what he wants for dinner that night, and tried to remind him of plans they have that weekend to go to the lake with her family, while he just stands there staring at her like a dumbass and then asks if he knows her. I absolutely lose it and almost piss myself from laughing as she stalks off. Once we're back to his parents, he gets a Facebook friend request from her and deletes it. Over the period of 3 days, she sends him 4 or 5 friend requests. So, He blocks her. We go back to North Carolina the following week and forget all about her. Again. 2010. I'm now 7 months pregnant with our daughter and we fly back to our hometown one last time before she's born. Of course, run into KAS again at Walmart. I know how it sounds, but we're from a town of about 5,000 people, so you kind of see everyone all the damn time whether you want to or not. I'm noticeably pregnant as I'm about 7 months along. I'm also only 5'2", and at the time, weighed about 115 pounds. So it was very clearly a baby bump. She's with her sister, and they seem to be following us, but we try to ignore them. We're now checking out, and again, they are right behind us, still acting like children, but in her defense, she was 19-ish at the time. We were still ignoring them, and her sister says fairly loudly, "He'll dump her now that she's fat." We continue to ignore them and leave the store. Later that day, a friend tells us to check Facebook, and lo and behold, there's a picture of me in the snack aisle with the caption, "When you catch your surrogate buying nothing but junk food," and so many comments agreeing how horrible I am. This psycho had been telling everyone that I was the surrogate for her and my husband's baby. We filed a restraining order the next day. 2018. We moved back to our hometown and buy my family's farmland to start our own cattle business. Highly don't recommend if you like to be able to make and keep plans, see your family, or take vacations. As far as we know, she's gotten married and is living her life away from us. About 6 months into us being back, we get a letter in the mail from a family lawyer saying my husband needs to present himself for a paternity test, and we're being sued for child support. Apparently, the baby girl came out white, and KAS's husband was not. She told her husband that my husband had raped her, and that it was his baby. Charges were filed, and thankfully, we were still in North Carolina at the time of conception, and the Army is very meticulous about know where their soldiers are at all times. The charges were immediately dismissed, as was the paternity test and child support. We filed another restraining order and installed cameras all over our property. Her husband ended up adopting the baby, and they stayed together. 2020. She makes the front page of our town paper. Apparently, KAS had had another baby girl who also did not match her husband's skin tone. He kicked her and the kids out, and one night she came back to his house in full view of his security cameras in her own car with the kids and set his porch on fire. The husband got temporary custody of the girls for about 2 years while KAS was in jail. 2023. She gets the girls back and dips out of state. The husband files a police report and everyone is looking for her. Unfortunately, the husband passes in a car accident the same year. 2025. I'm doom scrolling on Reddit and see a story that sounds very familiar, and here we are. Reasons I thought it was her from the post. Her and the girl's ages. We knew she had a baby boy recently. She has a history of theft and immediately playing the victim when caught. We still have a few mutuals on Facebook, so I do see her posts from time to time and knew she had moved in with the new guy, OP's brother from the other post, about 1.5 years ago. Well, I think that's the meat and potatoes of it. I'll be around later this afternoon to answer any questions. I may have some of the dates off, but hell, my memory is trash these days and I try not to think about her or any of those crazies. Edit 1 by the BROU poster. Comment from u/MysteriousCal3423, which may explain why the other post's OP deleted their account. Yeah, unfortunately Psycho Sally found that one in this one. The original account has since been deleted, unfortunately. Edit 2. Added note to clarify that there are 2 separate OPs. Edit 3. u/MysteriousCal3423 has replied to this thread here. Hey everyone, thanks for the love and support, but she has found the account and has now posted a picture of my husband on her account. I reported it, but it's still there. If anyone can help me get it removed, I would be forever thankful to all of you. Heart. Okay, before I give my actual opinion, please just entertain my tinfoil hat theory real quick. So I'm not saying this is what happened, but how fucking crazy would it be if all 3 accounts were owned by the same person? And this was just an elaborate story they created to essentially just get 5 minutes of fame on Reddit. This theory only crossed my mind, by the way, because it is believable, and I could see this happening, where someone posts a story, another user recognizes the behavior and go, oh, hey, by any chance, is this person here? That's believable. But then for the person in question that they're talking about to find both of the posts, it just seems very coincidental. I'm not saying that this scenario isn't possible, by the way. It just does light up a few red flags in my mind, and I'm just simply pointing those out as that is a crazy fucking coincidence. Now, on to my actual opinion. That was just a tinfoil hat theory that my head was thinking about, because I have known people to do that, so I thought I would just share that quick little theory. Anyways, my main opinion is, holy shit, the original OP's brother dodged a fucking bullet. Good God. I'm a bit upset that we never got confirmation on the original paternity test for Chase's child, because that is definitely a question that is still lingering in my head. And because the original OP had to delete their account because Vivian/KAS ended up harassing them into the point of deletion, we may never actually get the answer to this story, which kinda sucks. Because that's just the final loose end. It's kinda crazy that we got all this build up into one scenario of a paternity test happening, followed by like 2 decades worth of lore on this one person and no ending follow-up. So now we're just left in eager suspense about what's really going on here. Hopefully though, even if it's not Chase's child, he's willing to adopt him and get him the hell out of that potential hellscape of a life with KAS, because she just sounds not good. And that's me putting it lightly. Like, I can feel YouTube's yellow icon holding a baseball bat behind me at what I want to say about this individual. But good God. I did actually try to hunt down to see if maybe Mysterious Cow would have some kind of update about the paternity test that wasn't included in the original BRU update, but I did find this update, the KAS update. Hey y'all, this is probably going to be the last KAS update for a while. It's been a rough 48 hours between some issues we're having on the farm due to 4 days straight of rain, and KAS finding the posts about her. I'll try to be brief, but give you guys an update as to what's going on. I have been in contact with the OP from the first post, and have permission to include a couple updates from her situation as well. KAS has been arrested. Her girls are safe with OP's brother, and they're all back at his house. She found the posts and went feral with comments, and even a post which included a picture of my husband she took from my Facebook, and I have since had to deactivate. We called our local sheriff department about the harassment and learned she had an active warrant. I was able to get in touch with OP to find out exactly where she was, and they contacted the law enforcement agency in that area, and they went and got her. We have pressed charges as well. Right now, she's looking at stalking, harassment, child endangerment, resisting arrest, and assault on an officer. Among the charges she already had pending. Assault on an officer, huh? I knew what might happen if I responded to OP's post, but I do not regret reaching out to her or exposing her antics. What matters is everyone is safe and she's being held without bond. Update from OP, the girls are safe with my brother and he has all 3 children. He has been awarded temporary guardianship and will be getting them into counseling in the coming week. I tried to press charges, but as the items never left my home, I was unable to. We will have the results of the paternity test next week, as well, but no matter the outcome, he will be trying to get full rights to my nephew. Okay, the last sentence is exactly what I wanted to hear, and that does make me happy, but in the end, this definitely sounds like a pretty fucking messy situation. Holy hell. But in the end, after all of that, how do you all feel about this situation? Because this was a lot. Don't forget, this is brought to you by GamerSupps. Use code ODDS at checkout. It's basically a caffeine powder that you put in your water, and I actually really like it. I use this on a daily basis. Don't forget that every purchase you make using code ODDS directly supports the channel. And if you want a personal recommendation from me, I would either recommend the Soda Pressing Pear or Dragon Fruit Punch. Those 2 are currently my favorite flavors. And as a note, once we sell a certain amount of stuff, I get my own flavor and my own cup, and you all know I'm gonna choose some degenerate shit that's gonna make their PR team squirm. My goal is to make them regret partnering with me. So please, use code ODDS at checkout to make my dream come true of making a PR team squirm.